I don't want to, no. I'm sorry, I don't do that kind of thing. I'm not wearing a Christmas hat in the video. It looks silly. I'm not doing it. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care how much the sponsors said they would pay if I did it. I'm not doing it. Well, just out of interest, how much was it? How much? Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be having a look at my top 5 fragrances for Christmas 2018. Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you in the Smelly Army. So today we're going to be having a look at my top 5 fragrances that I'm looking forward to wearing over Christmas this year, 2018. This video is brought to you with the cooperation of my friends over at Fragrance Samples UK, my favourite place in the world to get fragrance samples and try out new fragrances. So they do ship worldwide. You can order through the website if you're in the UK, and if you're elsewhere in the world, just go to the website, pick out what you like, and you can email them to order, and they do ship around the world. You can buy samples of all the fragrances featured in this video at Fragrance Samples UK. And they've given me a 10% discount code if you use the code Smelly Christmas. That's valid until Christmas Day 2018. If you click on the link in the description, that will take you there and automatically apply the code at the checkout if you're ordering in the UK. If you're in the rest of the world and you're ordering by email, simply mention the code and they will happily apply that to your order. They have a really great range of fragrances, designer and niche. They also have some discontinued stuff. Price is very reasonable indeed. I always say if you're looking for maybe some Creed fragrances, you want to get 10ml of this or 10ml of that. I think they're sort of 20 something pounds. I think that's a really good way to build a small collection of 5 or 10ml samples where you can really enjoy a lot of different fragrances without rushing out and blind buying and wasting money. So I really do recommend these guys, not least because the site is run by Greggy Boy 76, Greg from the Greggy Boy 76 review channel. I'll put the link to his channel down there. One of my favourite reviewers, who was a huge inspiration to me when I started my own channel. Anyway, let's get stuck into it and talk about the fragrances in question. So, or maybe I'll try and pick out which festive day I'll wear each one. So let's do it that way. Basically, the idea then, of course, Christmas fragrances. What does it have to smell like? Mince pies or mulled wine? No, but I guess we're looking for things that are a little bit rich smelling, a little bit opulent, a little bit celebratory smelling. It's a time of year when maybe we splash out on presents. So the fragrances should smell perhaps luxurious, maybe a little bit rich, a little bit fancy and upscale, and maybe you're not looking so much for ones that are just fresh, like citrusy ones that are more appropriate for spring. But I'm not going to be too strict about that it has to smell Christmassy for a particular reason, but I think these are my choices that will smell classy. You want to smell classy, don't you, over the festive period? So here we go. First up is my fragrance for Christmas Eve. The first one I'm going to mention then is the one that was sent to me by Fragrance Samples UK, because I don't yet own a full bottle. So they come in nice little pouches like this. This I think is the 5ml example, and this is L'air du Desert Marocain from Andy Tower. I don't have a bottle. Claire, the lovely Claire from the Smurfy Girly channel, does have Le Maroc pour Elle, and that comes in a bottle like this. The L'air du Desert Marocain, practically identical, but I think it's a number 2 on there, so that gives you some idea how it should look. What a great fragrance this one is. It's a smoky fragrance that it's supposed to evoke the feeling or smell of the air of the Moroccan deserts from the perfumer, the very renowned Andy Tower, an indie perfumer. So it's smoky, it's resinous, it's exotic smelling. I've got a little bit on a card here, and it is absolutely beautiful. There's a little bit of sweetness, I think it's benzoin or maybe or vanilla. Really nice incense notes used here. This kind of exotic, smoky, woody, just slightly sweet, very unisex smelling, mysterious and classy smell. Also maybe an air and a hint of a kind of barbershop lavender thing in there for me. A little bit of a slight air of the barbershop about it, but a very exotic twist on that kind of theme. Really nice performance on the sample that I've got here, and I used to have an old sample before, so I've worn it a few times. Lovely, mysterious, exotic kind of smell. So I'm going to go for this maybe Christmas Eve. It's just got that exciting kind of feel about it. Christmas Eve, an exciting time, and I will be wearing L'air du Desert Marocain on Christmas Eve this year. Check my Instagram, I'll prove it. and I really enjoy that one. It's one that I'm thinking of adding to my collection, and it's great to have that sample. 5ml gives me a really good chance to give it a darn good trying before I go and splash out my money. Let me know if you tried that one. So next up in the list, of course, this is going to be the day after Christmas Eve, which is Christmas Day. I'm going to go for my all-time favourite, of course. It's Creed's Bois de Portugal. So Bois de Portugal, first released in 1987, a fantastic masculine fragrance with a really nice green bergamot opening and a lovely dusty, woody kind of undertone after that. Lavender, sandalwood, the famous Creed ambergris, and it's got this really dignified, classy, grown-up air. There's a sort of green freshness. Some people have said in Fragrantica and base notes there is a similarity with Chanel Pour Monsieur, but it's sort of like a much more strong version of that, more emphasis on the base notes. But that's another sort of spicy green. That one's a Chypre. I'm not sure what category we put this one in. Kind of Chypre fougere, hard to categorize, but a really, really classy fragrance. Green bergamot, woody undertone, a certain masculinity, a certain old school vibe, nothing animalic or weird, but maybe this kind of dusty, nostalgic wood and lavender combination, slightly spicy, absolutely beautiful, and probably my favourite fragrance of all time. So I'm going to be wearing that on Christmas Day, Bois de Portugal from the House of Creed. Next up then, Boxing Day. Let's see what we wear then. So I'm going to go with Jaipur Homme the Eau de Toilette. So this is a relatively inexpensive fragrance from Bashan, and it's a really, really nice vanilla mixed with musky, again, kind of barbershop notes. It's quite spicy. There's a significant amount of cinnamon in here. It has a beautiful bottle design, and it has this, for me, I've described it in the past as a mixture of Brut from Fabergé. No one else seems to think this, mixed with a lot of vanilla. So if you mix a kind of barbershop masculine muskiness and a slightly old school feel, again, I'm a bit that way, I'm afraid, with a really, really nice vanilla and some cinnamon, some more exotic notes, you get this lovely, lovely powdery, soft yet masculine combination with this one. Really nice performance. All of the three so far, great performance. And it's something completely different to most of what the other stuff that's out there on your designer fragrance shelves. Really hard to find in shops to try, and of course that's where Fragrance Samples UK come in. It's good to order a little bit, and then you can try it out and see if it works for you. If you do, the actual full bottle, not too pricey either. Beautiful, exotic, supposed to conjure up the feeling of Jaipur in Italy, India. That doesn't have nothing inherently Christmassy about that, but it's classy, it's powdery, it's soft, it's sort of got this this warming sweetness about it that you might enjoy over the colder days of the festive period. And it smells classy, even though it's not a fancy niche one in terms of the price and all that. It really does have a classy, rich kind of smell about it. So Jaipur Homme, I think I'll wear that one on Boxing Day. Let's move on then. There's going to be two big days, I guess, left. So we've got New Year's Eve. So for New Year's Eve, I think I'm going to go with Portrait of a Lady from Frederic Malle. Now, the name, of course, it certainly makes you think this must be a female fragrance. I think it must be marketed really as being female when they give it a name like that. And it's well established that a lot of guys in the fragrance community do really like wearing this one. If you're looking for a really, really good combination of rose and patchouli with a lot of spice in there, this could be the fragrance for you. Beast Mode Performance. I've got some somewhere on a card. Let's find it. Oh, yeah, really, really, Claire from the Smurfy Girly channel does own this bottle, and she wears it a lot around me, and it really performs incredibly strongly. What I mainly get is a lovely mixture of rose with patchouli, but it's a dark kind of rose note and a lot of spices. There's things like clove in there. There's a little bit of sweetness, but it's a strong, smoky, spicy rose and patchouli mixture. Very, very heavy, but somehow not dated smelling. It smells like a modern niche fragrance in a really good way. Fantastic performance and absolutely fine for guys. The name obviously off-putting, but if anything for me, it leans a slight bit more masculine than feminine, but it does smell great on a lady or a man, and I'm going to wear that one. New Year's Eve, you want some strength. I'm not sure what I'm doing then yet, but it's going to be a strong fragrance and a really, really class one. So Portrait of a Lady, definitely a great one for the festive season or any time when you want to smell classy. Moving on to my final selection then. So of course it's New Year's Day. What shall I wear then? Well, I'm going to go on New Year's Day with one that is called Bentley for Men Intense. And this is a bit of a bold choice because, as you may have seen on my channel, Claire from the Smurfy Girly channel, who is my girlfriend, does not actually enjoy this fragrance at all, but I've decided in the new year it's time to be assertive and stand up for the true me, what I believe in. And you know, it's not that bad a smell that she will be completely repelled, I hope, by it. I really like it. It's a very niche smelling and quite challenging smell. It opens with a fabulous burst of rum, very boozy in the opening. Again, there's quite a lot of patchouli and there's leather in this one. Really, really strong performer. There's bay leaf in there. There's a woody undertone, a masculine kind of heavy woodiness. It looks back a little bit in that respect to some of the classics from the 70s, things like Givenchy Gentleman from 1974, but with this boozy sweetness and vanilla mixed with the leather, more of a modern niche feel, although again it's a relatively inexpensive fragrance, but well worth sampling before you go out and spend even a relatively small amount on a bottle. You know, get yourself that 1 ml or 2 ml, so you can just give it a little try, because not everyone loves this one, and again, you don't find it all the time in your local store to try. Really, really classy, rich, boozy. Might not want to be reminded of booziness on New Year's Day, but I'll work around that. So yeah, a lovely, strong performing, masculine, classy scent, challenging, rich, heavy, definitely winter appropriate. I'm going to rock that one on New Year's Day. So let me know what fragrances you're planning to wear over the festive season, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. I'm not, you know, a huge Christmas person, to be honest, and I know there are other religious festivals and you may not celebrate Christmas. That's fine. I just want to know what you're wearing over the festive period, wherever you are in the world. There's probably a few days off work, right? And I think Bentley Intense for New Year's Day. The others I mentioned in the video, all great choices, I think, for this time of year. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. As ever, thank you very much for watching. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. It's